Act 1, you go to your preferred store to buy ceramic tiles to install in some part of your home. Act 2, you've chosen the ceramic tile, you've selected the adhesive, but they ask if you want grout with sand or without sand, and you don't know how to respond. Would you like your grout with sand or without sand? I don't know what to choose. Act 3, you find this video where we explain the differences. Let's start with the basics. Regardless of the ceramic tile you're installing, all tiles must be installed with spacing between them. And that spacing must be controlled by your installer using these spacers, which can be 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters, or for example, 5 millimeters. And you should always use the same size throughout your installation. In Mexico, this spacing is known as a joint. And this is what it would look like with a 5 millimeter one. What you should never do is leave both ceramic tiles stuck directly together. This is called installing tiles without gaps, and it's not recommended at all. This is because the joint has a specific function, which is to absorb movements that might occur after the ceramic is installed, whether from settling or temperature changes. If you install tiles without gaps, those movements won't be absorbed by anything and the ceramic pieces could crack or lift up. And what determines how wide the joint spacing should be? Well, manufacturers typically recommend a minimum that's generally 2 millimeters in most cases, but always check your ceramic tile box, which will tell you the recommended minimum joint or grout spacing. But once we've spaced them properly, how do we fill the gaps? For that, there are products like these known as grouts or joint fillers. They come with sand and without sand. In this case, this Mapei product is without sand. I've already shown you how to install correctly to get the best results. And well, although they claim to be sand-free, the reality is they all contain sand, but very, very fine sand. Note, it's not beach sand or anything like that. These are specific sands designed for manufacturing these grouts. Sand-free grouts are generally recommended for filling gaps between 2 and 4 millimeters. But this particular one in FF color lets you fill joints up to 6 millimeters. But what if you wanted to leave a gap or joint of 1 centimeter, maybe 12 millimeters, because your design requires it? Well, that's what sand-based grouts are for. This particular one can fill gaps from 4 to 15 millimeters in ceramic installations, which is quite substantial. They're called sanded grout precisely because the sand particles are larger than in unsanded grout, which gives the joint more body and structure. Now you know what factors to consider when choosing between sanded or unsanded grout. This particular one is a new release from our friends at Mapei. It's color GG in case you want to look for it at Mapei distributors. The installation process is practically the same for both types, but in an upcoming video I'll show you the differences in strength and we'll discuss other grout options available in the market, not just sanded and unsanded. Until next time. By the way, what was the name of the project? Let me know in the comments.